Mike. What day is it? It's Wednesday. Hump day! That's right, it's hump day! And we all know that Stoop Kid never leaves his stoop. What's going on, YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 video, and I'm just checking in on you. What's going on? How are ya? Now, today is May the 7th. And this is going to be your weekly vendor reset and must-buys for both Cassie Mendoza and Danny Weaver. So sit back, relax, grab that popcorn, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. And, well, finally, shout out where you're from. It's cool to see where everybody is from. But before we get to Cassie Mendoza and Danny Weaver, we have to find the Snitch. Now, just a reminder, the Snitch will just be in a random location, well over a dozen different locations throughout the open world. So, some people do have trouble finding the Snitch. Now, what I do every week is I show you where I personally find the Snitch, but I also ask you to please let everyone know. Where do you typically find the Snitch? Where did you find the Snitch today? And maybe even some coordinates to help each other out. Because remember that these vendors, they open and close every other day. So if you don't get to them today, you're going to have to wait until Friday. And if you don't get to them then, well, you know, so on and so forth. Now for me, the Snitch's location is as follows. My coordinates are 1407 by 3626, and I'm just south of the 1040 safe house. Now, what I did is I fast traveled to the Jefferson Trade Center mission, and I ran across the street. That's it. Pretty simple. Now, you can accept the bounty, and if your global difficulty setting is on heroic, you will pick up a heroic bounty. Now, what I do is I go to the bounty details, and I abort the bounty and keep it for later, just in case we need it for a scout or what have you. And I look for the new white shopping cart icons that are on the map. So there should be two. Here's one right here. Danny Weaver is in Judiciary Square. And where's Cassie? Here's Cassie. So Cassie Mendoza is in the southwest, and you can see in the top left of your screen that the vendor will close in 9 hours. So let's jump over there. We will see what Cassie is selling this week. And then we'll jump over to Danny Weaver, and we'll see what we can purchase with our textiles. Now, remember that Cassie Mendoza is a actual vendor that will, sell normal gear for credits, where Danny Weaver actually sells caches for textiles. Now, I'll show you, what all... Oop, hold on. Let me fast travel over there. Oh, so for this location, we can just fast travel and then run across the street. No biggie. Now, I'll show you with all the textiles and whatnot whenever we get to Danny Weaver, but let's go over to Cassie real quick and see what we can just purchase with our normal credits. Because a lot of people might not know how to get the textiles and all of that, so I'll explain that here in just a second. But run down here to the basement, and here is Cassie Mendoza. Timestamp it, do whatever you need to, but here is Cassie with her weekly vendor reset. And starting off at the top, we have our named items. Now, this also comes with a disclaimer. If you are new or returning to the game, you have to actually unlock these bottom two named items. So, for example, here, the Shield Splinterer, you have to hunt down and eliminate all of the Year 1 hunters, open up the ivory chest in the base of Ops, and you will receive this weapon. Cassie will then sell it every week with different attributes. Also, we have the Hunter Killer. This one is actually locked behind the Warlords of New York expansion, but if you have that, all you need to do is hunt down and eliminate all of the Year 2 hunters, and open up the off-white chest that is in the base of... Oh, actually, it's the Haven settlement, my bad, over there in New York City, and you will receive this chest piece, and, well, Cassie will sell it every week thereafter with different attributes. But that disclaimer out of the way, that's how you see these two bottom named items. And starting off at the top, we have the Carnage. This is the named Negev with perfect sadist, and well, this one with swap speed, but you can easily change that off for damage to armor and be good to go. I know a lot of people love this weapon, so here it is, must buy. Next up, we have the Sacrifice. Now, this is another must buy. It is the same one from the Countdown vendor. However, this one is with normal credits, where the Countdown vendor you have to purchase with Countdown requisition tokens. So the Sacrifice is the named Providence defense chest with perfect glass cannon, and this one has max weapon damage and double crit. Now you could keep the double crit on here, or you could go crit chance headshot or whatever. But this is a great chest piece to have. I use it for almost a majority of my DPS builds. Following that, we have the Shield Splinterer. I already told you how to unlock this weapon. However, Cassie Mendoza this week is selling one with max reload speed. And also, the Shield Splinterer is the named F2000 with Perfect Optimist. So you have that as a talent. The other attributes aren't that high. So if you had to pick this one up, I would just say change reload speed to damage to targets at a cover, and then just optimize those other attributes. And finally, for the named items, we have the Hunter Killer chest piece. This is the named Going Gear chest with Perfect Intimidate, and this week, health and skill damage. Going to the gear set items, we have a Future Initiative backpack with headshot. Remember, the Future Initiative backpack doubles that procs repair from the heals from 60 to 120%. All you need to do is change that headshot off to repair skills, and you're good to go. Following that, we have a Rigger chest piece with armor regeneration. Ongoing directive gloves with weapon handling. Aces and Eights knee pads with weapon handling, Refactor holster with health, and finally Future Initiative mask with skill damage. Now going to the high-end items, a Police T821 with killer and armor damage, an SR1 with max armor damage and killer. This SR1 is pretty damn decent. What I would do is change the killer off for determined, and you're good to go, actually. Following that, we have a Hanayu chest with Obliterate, crit damage, and skill haste. That's really not bad for, like, say, a capacitor crit build. That could be really nice. And finally, a Lingmo pair of knee pads with max armor, armor regeneration, and crit chance. Another good pickup, actually. Yeah, you could pick those up and change the armor regeneration, make it double crit, or just max out the armor regeneration and put it on an LMG build. Not bad. Going to the mods, we have Shock Resistance 8.7 and Drone plus 2 extra bombs. Now, must buys things to look for from Cassie Mendoza. The Carnage is a good one. The Sacrifice is a good one. As far as the gear set items, the ongoing directive gloves aren't bad. The high-end items, the SR1's not bad. The Hanayu and the Lingmo are questionable. Honorable mentions. So that's what? 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 items. So there's 6 items to look at from Cassie Mendoza. Now let's jump over to Danny Weaver. But remember, Danny Weaver only takes textiles. So textiles is the currency. How do you get textiles? You can see in the bottom of your screen, it shows textiles and my current, amount, 277,000, not bad. But how to get textiles? Well, you go to your apparel caches and you open up your cache just like so. And if you get a duplicate, it will give you textiles. So for example here, I just got some glasses and it says I get 60 textiles because it's a duplicate. And then that gets added to my total, and then I can use those textiles to purchase caches from Danny Weaver. So he has different caches every week. It could be 1 exotic 1 week or 3 exotics 1 week. It could be 1 named item blueprint or 5 named item blueprints. What did it just fast travel me into? What was that? What is this?
Priority
What the hell?
available, agent.
Yo, this is like a bare bones dark zone. What the hell? That is weird. Here, get me out of here before it glitches me out. What is that? I don't even want to know. Yo, that dark zone was glitchy. Oh, that was weird. All right. Let's jump over to Danny Weaver. That was odd. All right, so Danny Weaver. Yeah, the map's been acting a little weird today. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It wasn't acting weird during my live stream earlier, but for some reason during my video today, it's been acting up quite a bit. I don't know. Maybe it's just a me problem. Anywho, so let's jump over to good old Danny Weaver and see what kind of caches we can get. Sometimes we can get some nice exotics. Other times it's just, you know, some crafting caches. But we do know that it is guaranteed at least one exotic. So let's see what kind of exotic we get. And another thing, I really hope everybody is farming their seasonal pass XP, because you get all of those new Brooklyn patches, the new outfit kickflip, the new Scorpio weapon skin, and all of those unattainable exotics like the Eagle Bear, Regulus, Ravenous, Bighorn, and so much more. Pretty cool stuff. So make sure you're farming your seasonal pass XP, please. You only have another 3 weeks until the DLC comes out. Big things are happening. Big things. All right. So here we go. Timestamp it. Do whatever you need to. But here is Danny Weaver. And this week we have 5 named item caches, 2 field proficiencies, and an exotic. Nice. Remember, these named item caches have a chance of giving you a PvP exclusive item, just like the Hollow Man mask, or like, say, the Matador, or, you know, something like that. All right, let's check it out. So whenever you're purchasing these, make sure it is subtracting from your overall textiles. That way you know it's going to go into your inventory. And when you purchase these and back out, make sure you see them in the bottom left corner before you try to open them up. So you can see it takes a second for all of them to show up. There we go. And all right, let's check out our caches. So starting with the exotic, and let me know what you get in the comment section below. But this week I got a Ninja Bike messenger bag. Okay. For the field proficiencies, anything special? Nope. And nope. A relic. For the named item, we have safety distance, test subject, Hollow Man mask. There you go. That's a PvP exclusive. Punch Drunk. There we go. And the everyday carrier with max armor. Nice. Pretty good pickups. Not bad. Not bad at all. But that is actually going to conclude our weekly vendor reset and must buys for both Cassie Mendoza and Danny Weaver. I am Kamikazevondoom. Let me know what you get. Let me know what you pick up. Did I miss anything or what have you? Let me know in the comment section below. And while you're at it, hit that thumbs up. Support the channel by subscribing. All that jazz. I am Kamikazevondoom. Take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace out. Let's go farm these exotics. I need a Regulus on my hardcore character. Bad.